Well, sometimes I go out by myself.
Hello people, it's me Cassandra. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are visiting for the first time, welcome. I hope you enjoy. If you do, please remember to give me a thumbs up and to subscribe if you would like. And today what I'm going to do is show you how to go from this to this with the help of my color correction, and I did put on my Dior Air Flash spray foundation, but that's the only thing that I've put over the color correction. I haven't done any of my highlighting, any of that fun stuff yet. And I did tackle the eyebrows. I started to get a little carried away because I looked in the mirror and I was like, dang. So I got that under control. But eyebrows and foundation over my color correction, and I hope you can rewind it if you want to and appreciate the difference. Or just keep watching because it's going to start looking pretty rough here in a minute again. So I have a lot of little freckles kind of everywhere. I have a little bit of redness, especially around my nose here, that I battle on a fairly regular basis. And a little bit of discoloration under the eye, not too bad, mostly when I don't get sleep like everyone else. And I have some little patches here that are like reddish brown that I struggle with pretty often. And if you've watched me before, or at least if you've watched me a couple of times, you may have heard me talk about a botched laser treatment. And so I went in for laser to help lighten up some of my pigmentation on my face, and it was after I'd been to the beach and it left me with darker patches than what I started with. So now you know, don't do it. If you've been to the beach, if you've been out in the sun, even if it was for a couple hours, just don't do it. Even if they tell you it's going to be okay. Trust me, I got your back. Don't do it. Okay. So there are a couple of products that I go to kind of regularly depending on what I'm trying to achieve, and a new one that I just got that I haven't really used yet that I'm going to play with a little bit today and see how it goes, by Cover FX. So let's get to it. Shall we get to it? My two kind of go-tos for color correction are going to be Giorgio Armani Master Corrector and the Becca Backlight Targeted Color Corrector. So I have both products, and in the Armani product I have the green color and the peach color, and in the Becca products I have the peach and the banana. I don't have the green yet, I'm getting there, but basically I feel like the difference between the two is that the Becca, it is definitely a thicker product. It is a creamier product. The way that it was described to me by a representative is that it is moisturizing and hydrating, but not to the point where it's going to affect you if you have a little bit of oiliness to your skin, which I do in the T-zone. So when she said that, I was like, stop. I do not need that. But she assured me that it basically just helps prevent cakiness. And so I've been using this for a few weeks, and I agree totally 100%. She was right. Good job, Becca rep in the Sephora store. Good job. So absolutely has not affected my makeup that goes over the top, does not break it up, which I've had a problem with other products, does not cake up on me like I've had a problem with other products, especially the heavier products, or the more full coverage, shall we say, products. And so it's been really, really good. Now, the new product that I haven't used yet, that I'm going to play with a tiny bit and just see what I think, is the Cover FX, the little click sticks. And I just got these literally last night, and it comes in a tube. Well, they don't come in a tube. The tube is separate, and you pick whatever two products you want to put in the tube. It's basically a storage. I just totally stuck my fingernail into the tube that's in there on the other side. Damn it. Clearly, I'm not used to this product yet. But I already said that. So anyways, you pick whatever two products that you want to go into the stick. You can put in foundations, they have cream highlighters, they have the color correctors, which I put in. They all go into the same stick, so you can get a couple sticks or you can use one and switch them in and out. You basically take the cap off when you get it and you just pop it in and it clicks like that. And then whichever one you want, you push on the opposite side to make it pop out. But do not, under any circumstances, stick your finger in the empty hole while the other product is still on the other end. Apparently. So, these are the things that I will be going over today. If you're interested in seeing how they work, or maybe they don't, who knows? Stay tuned. Okay, if you're still there, I'm also going to be going over a little bonus feature item, if you will. It is the Cle de Peau stick that Huda has raved about. It is in her like top 10 holy grail products of all time. It's in almost every single video that I think the woman has ever done ever. It is ridiculously expensive. Okay? Ridiculously. I've never paid this much for a cover stick before. So it was hard, but I did it. I broke down and I done it. Okay? And basically, I'm going to review this product for you as well. So with the Giorgio Armani Master Correctors, they're more of a thinner liquid consistency, and they have little wands on them with little brushes at the end. Hope you can kind of sort of see that. So I apply that to the dark circles under my eyes, and then seeing as how I have brown spots literally everywhere, I don't quite like coat my entire face in this, but I do try to hit the bigger ones that are at least more obvious to me, if not to anyone else. And you can see it's pretty thin. It kind of almost matches my flesh tone, not quite. And then with the green, I go in and I do the red little vessels, little capillaries that I have around my nose. This product does not cake up on me. It's actually really good about not caking. I have used NYX in the past. That's what I used to use all the time. And that used to cake on me in the crevasses. It gets all up in the crevasses and it cakes in there. So, not the best, but it's got good coverage. So if you want to use it somewhere other than the edge of your nose, because the green one is specifically the one I was using, covers really well. So I'm using a dampened little mini blender, beauty blender, to just blend that in. And then I have unevenness on my eyelids as well, and I usually go in with a concealer over my eyelids, but I just take the excess of the peach and just kind of dab it. Figure it doesn't really hurt anything. I don't know that it helps either, but I do it. And then I take another dampened little mini blender, beauty blender. That is this side done with the Giorgio Armani color corrector. So now I'm going to come in on the other side and use the Becca Backlight Targeted Color Corrector. That's a lot of words. That's a lot of words to say. This one I normally use a brush with, a concealer brush. So I'm just going to grab one of my Morphe concealer brushes, kind of a medium-sized one, and I pat this over the same areas, basically targeting the same areas that I did on the other side. Hopefully you can see this is a thicker product. It is creamy, but it is really soft and it looks kind of wet. Like when I first started using it, I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna like this. Like it just kind of looks wet and sticky, but it really isn't. It's like pretty comfortable on the face. I'm going to be getting this one in the green. It is definitely in my basket at Sephora right now, just waiting for me to just pull the trigger, hit that button, and get it. So there we have it. So you can see the difference. It's a pretty big difference. Although this side's blended in, it's still going to be a big difference. Now then, after you do that, you're supposed to go in with some kind of concealer to cover your cover. Most often, I use two. I use the Benefit Erase Paste, or I use the Becca that I mentioned before in Banana. Those are the two I use most. So because I don't have the Becca in green, I'm going to use the Cover FX Click Stick in green and see how I like it now that it has a big gouge out of it from my fingernail. So it's green, it's a cream. And I've never used this before, so I don't know if it would be better it will probably be better on a brush. I have a sneaking suspicion. Okay, so I'm just going to use a concealer brush and kind of rub that. Okay, that is a little bit better. I like that application a little bit better. Wow. Okay, so a little bit goes a long way. My nose is like, I am going to not have a nose when we're done with this. My nose is going to just disappear into my face. Okay, like I said, I've never used this before, obviously, and it is a pretty good coverage, you guys. Pretty good coverage. So I have just red color corrected basically a good 10% of my face over here. Yes, that's awesome. I'll just come up on my nose with it. Why not? I do got some patchiness up there too, but I put a highlighter here, so I don't usually do much color correcting on the nose, but hey, let's go for it. Why not? So I would say that the Cover FX stick does not play. I would say it's got really good coverage. It goes a long way. Whew. Be careful with that. What the f***? Are you serious right now? My other click stick, I just turned the stick upside down. The stick literally just fell out and hit the floor. Like, what the hell? Like, the part that's supposed to be in here is gone. It just literally fell out the hole and hit me in the leg and hit the floor. This is brand new. I just got this last night. I've never even used it. Cover FX. For real? That's a problem, y'all. I have a problem with that. Just great. Just great. Here's my stick. Here it is. Here. That sucks. I might be having to call them. I'm gonna use it anyways. Who am I kidding? I'm just gonna go ahead and use it. I've started the video. I'm just gonna use it. But that does suck. So what I'm gonna do is use this, I don't know, somewhere else. I'm gonna have plenty of freaking brown spots. So it says peach. So I was expecting it to be peach, like Becca's peach. It is not. It is almost more of like a concealer color. So it's similar, I guess, to the Armani color. It's a much, much lighter color than I was expecting. They probably will not take it back now because it looks like it's been used. Trying to blend in where my green went a little out of control there. Okay, so I will say the peach one is probably not the right color for me. I'm just going out on a limb and saying that because I literally can't really even see where I put it on my chin. It's almost more like a concealer more than a color corrector. So, lesson learned on that. Learning mini lessons about my click stick today. Mini. So now we're going to go in with more of the concealer part of the color correction. And I'm going to use the erase paste on one side. And for this, I usually use just a bigger concealer brush. And so I'm just going in with a Morphe concealer brush, a larger one. The erase paste is, it's a cream, but it is a softer cream than the Becca product. So I'm going to just dab it on. You really don't need a lot of this. And I don't put this everywhere because if you do, you're going to get cakey really fast. So I just saw a little redness on this area of my forehead because I was messing with it there a second ago. Had a little bump there I was messing with. So to continue where I left off with the erase paste, once I get a little bit patted on, and really a little bit goes a long way. I really had almost nothing on this brush. Like, it really was not much. So these products last a long time. Kind of get the initial color on and smooth out, and then I go with my beauty blender and I let the beauty blender do the rest of the work. Put it in there. I'm going to go in with the Becca Backlight Color Corrector in Banana, and I'm going to use another concealer brush, and this one's a little bit thicker. It is not quite as soft and creamy as the erase paste. But same principle, just kind of dabbing. I don't feel like this product goes quite as far, but it could also be just the fact that the peach that I'm trying to cover is so much darker than the peach that was on the other side with the Master Corrector. When I finish covering this, it is still pretty peach. I mean, that's just how it always is. So I don't get freaked out by it anymore. I used to be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna look like a freaking peach. No. I don't know. I'm gonna look like something peachy. That isn't ideal. I also used to think, oh my god, I'm gonna get so flippin' cakey. It's gonna be disgusting. Okay, I've got that pretty well on. I'm gonna go in with the Beauty Blender again and just kind of try to even it out a little bit. That is it for the color correction. Now the Cle de Peau I usually do after my foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that on real quick and then we will get to the Cle de Peau. Okay guys, so that's it. That's the color correcting done. I did go back and throw on the eyebrows like I mentioned at the very beginning of the video because I thought I looked funny with foundation but no eyebrows, but now I feel like I look funny with eyebrows but no eyeshadow. So this is about the coverage that I would be getting minus my contouring, my highlighting that I'm going to be doing too. And I think, I don't know if you can see, but I feel like the coverage is pretty equal on the Becca side versus the Armani side. I mean, there are still some little peek throughs on the largest spots that I have, the largest, darkest spots that I had. But I feel like the overall tone of my skin is pretty even on both sides and has equal effect on both sides. So I feel like they both work really well. And it's a matter of just what you feel most comfortable with. So I like both a lot. And the Cover FX Click Stick, I feel like you do have to be a little careful with because it does tend to cake a tiny bit compared to the Armani. But I feel like the coverage is probably a tiny bit better over the redness. It's kind of hard to say for sure. I mean, after I put the foundation on, they looked pretty similar, honestly. But the Cover FX is caking the tiniest bit with maybe a little bit more full coverage. So that's it. That's the end result. And now I'm going to go back and do a little bit with the Cle de Peau, like I said I would earlier. And I typically do the Cle de Peau at this kind of stage in the game after I have my foundation on. So with the Cle de Peau, crap is expensive. There's no way to sugarcoat it. But it will last for an eternity. Like I may have to will it to my daughter, potentially her children as well, I don't know. But I've had it for several months and I haven't even rolled it up yet. Like I haven't even pushed it up yet. So it takes the tiniest bit. It is super, super thick, super full coverage, and you literally need a dab. And that is it. That I use a very small concealer brush. Just lightly tap it in the edge there. And then what Huda uses it for, she really likes it in her tear trough area. That's what she kept like emphasizing repeatedly. So I have used it there and it will brighten that area. I feel like almost like for the cost of the product, I was expecting like it to make me look like I had a facelift or something, but I guess that was completely unrealistic, obviously. But there is, I mean, it does brighten that area and I do see a difference. I just don't know that I wouldn't necessarily be able to achieve the same results with a different product. So there's that. And then what I personally do like to use it for more than that area, I don't really use it in that area a lot. I like to use it here because on me, the way that my kind of edges of my mouth sink in here, I don't really like a lot. And it helps kind of pull that up a tiny bit. Again, not a huge difference, but I can see a difference. And I have the damn thing, so I'm going to use it, basically, is what it boils down to. I mean, let's be real. I'm not going to pay $80 for a stick of concealer and let it sit there and not use it for something. But I do see a difference when I use it here and I like it. Again, I don't know that I would have to use Cle de Peau to get the same result. And it's not a huge difference, but I see it and I like it. And so that's it. That's the Cle de Peau. That's my review on it. I feel like if you have the money and $80 isn't a huge deal to you, then absolutely, freaking, yeah, totally get it. But if you don't have it, don't worry about it. Honestly, don't be like, oh, I wish I could get the Cle de Peau, but I've got to pay my light bill. Pay your light bill. Trust me. Trust me. Lights are way more worth $80 than the Cle de Peau. Alright? It's alright. It's good, but it's not performing miracles. So, anyways, that's it, you guys. That was my color correction, kind of a little bit of concealer review. If you liked it, please remember to give me a thumbs up or even subscribe potentially if that's not too much to ask, please. And hope to see you again soon. Hope you enjoyed it. Love you guys. Bye. But it's really difficult to edit an hour-long video down into like 15 minutes or less. It really is hard. It's so hard. And it depends on what I'm trying to achieve. What I'm trying to achieve? Achieving. Oh, I got something in my teeth. So I don't have the green one. Why does that happen to me every time? Every time! Oh my god. Oh my god. Would you just chill out? But I really do appreciate you guys. Love you guys. I hope to see you guys again soon. You guys, you gals, you people. I'm in a good mood today. I'm just in such a good mood. Because I'm home by myself for once. I'm like I'm a loner and I like it. I like it. Anyways, every once in a while is nice. Okay, with the help of some color correction, and I did do blah, blah, blah. I need a bigger workspace.